Alright guys, before I start this video, I want to sort of explain the title so that you guys aren't misunderstanding what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that Beyblade is going to fail in the US and in Canada and stuff like that. I want Beyblade to succeed, as I'm sure a lot of you do as well. But the problem is, in the US, towards the end, Beyblade didn't succeed, not in the slightest. Metal Masters, Metal Fusion sold well. Metal Fury, Shogun Steel was kind of a flop. And I have a few tips for how Hasbro should make that not ever happen again. So I'm going to start at the beginning. When Metal Fusion first dropped in the US, they didn't do anything super crazy with it. They marketed it pretty well. This new series, this new TV show is marketed pretty well on Cartoon Network. I don't know what it was on in Canada. I think it might have been on like some like Toon something. I'm not sure. But they didn't do anything super extreme. They had single packs, they had double packs, they had stadiums, and they had stadium sets. And then maybe I think they had a few accessories too. They didn't do these random spin-off series like they did at the end. For example, they did Bay Wheels, which, if I remember right, was kind of a colossal failure. I don't think really anybody bought them. There's people who were interested in them, but nowhere near enough people actually got into it. And it wasn't really that fun. I did an unboxing for them, and they were okay. There just wasn't anything special about them at all. And then I know some of y'all might like these, but their extreme top system, that was just super weird, and I still don't think anybody bought them. And the worst of all is then for Shogun Steel, they released like these battlers that were these samurai things that were on top of the bigger Beyblades, and they'd fight, and just nobody cared. Nobody cared about these random toys that they were doing. Nobody cared about them, and they spent more money trying to make those instead of making the actual series appeal well. So what my first point is trying to say is that they experienced their most amount of sales when they were just doing the basics, marketing Beyblades, marketing this competitive scene that they fostered towards the beginning. And they had tournaments all across Toys R Us's and like Walmart's and stuff. They had Beyblade championships that I almost got to the semifinals to. Freaking their stadiums with the rivets in them. Rip. But they stuck to the basics. They didn't try to sell you these random Beyblade like accessories, spin-off random toy things. And that's what they need to do this time. They need to keep it the way it is in Japan. The way it is. They need to really foster their Beylogger connection to the phone, which is they're releasing an app just like Takara Tomy did. So I really hope it's good. And I really hope that they really develop the WBBA thing, because they didn't really do it last gen. But I'm really hoping they do like these mini games on their app that you could possibly get a rare Beyblade like it is in Takara Tomy. Like, get people to stick to the app and keep coming back and keep playing for a chance to win these special limited edition Beyblades. That was kind of a long point, but Hasbro, stick to the basics, stick to the Beyblade. Don't try to fill up the aisle with random stuff nobody knows and nobody cares about. Now, for my second point, they fixed it at the end when Metal Fury, which is Hasbro's version of 4D, if you don't know, when that came out in the US, I thought, and pretty much everybody else thought, that it was completely awful. So 4D, they had these dual metal wheel, sometimes dual energy ring for example, Big Bang Pegasus, and their tracks, which would change and shift in the middle of the battle. They didn't do that. When they first released Metal Fury, they stripped it down a bunch. They released one half of the metal wheel, they merged the energy ring together, and they just recycled spin tracks from old Beyblades like Big Bang Pegasus. I don't even know what it was called in the US. I think it did it keep that name? I'm not sure. That is released with Galaxy Pegasus spin track and tip. It what is it? What is this? These bays were super light, lighter than the Metal Masters and Metal Fusion, and it was a complete ripoff. And a lot of people saw that. And it was like that for a solid few months. And then they released these new ones, which I thought was very shady. I feel like they did that to try to get like more money, and it wasn't really consumer friendly. They weren't doing it to help the consumer, to really foster the consumer. Beyblade Burst, release them how they are in Japan. Don't try to like change them at all. Keep the burst mechanic. Just keep it the way it is. Keep it the way it is. Don't change it. Now for my second point, like recap, is Hasbro, please don't give us Beyblades that are super stripped down, watered down versions of the Japanese ones, because people will see it when they Google an unboxing for it and they see and they compare the Japanese versus the US. They're not going to buy the US one. So, for my final point is really marketing. They marketed Metal Fusion pretty well. As I said before, their series, a lot of people watched it. Their toys, they would have them in like the front and in displays back in Walmart and Target. And the Metal Fusion Metal Masters was okay. And then for Metal Fury and especially Shogun Steel, they did nothing for it. Honestly, I don't even know if Shogun Steel even premiered in the US. Like, I saw nothing for it. Was there even a TV show in the US? Like, that's an actual question, because they didn't market it at all. Like, you just walk in to Target or to Walmart or Kmart or whatever, and you'd see, oh, there's this new line of Beyblades. Oh, what are these? Like, what is this new thing? What is it? Did the old one end? That's a question that I had. Like, where did these come from? So, Hasbro, market these babies well. They're going to make you a lot of money if you treat them correctly. If you don't, they're just going to be declining again. Just like how they were after Metal Masters. Nobody's going to buy them. So, just listen to my tips. Market them well. Don't tamper with them. Release them as they are in Japan. And don't spread yourself out with all of these spin-off series things, because nobody really cares about those either. And if you follow my tips, legendary marketing dude, ilinnuc, then you should be on your way to having a huge success, just like it's a huge success in Japan. So guys, thank you for watching my little rant. I'm sorry if it was kind of long. I just wanted to really just talk about my issues with Hasbro Bays and what I really hope they do with this new series, because I think it's great. And I think a lot of kids and even adults will think it's great if they just do it properly. So, thank you for watching. I'm doing more battles and unboxings really soon, so look out for those. Have fun, and bay away.